Hello, and welcome to my channel. Last week, we discussed the concepts of being and ontology. Today, we're shifting our focus to another fundamental philosophical question: the nature of knowledge. What is knowledge? How do we acquire it? And how can we be sure that we possess knowledge? These questions lie at the heart of epistemology, the field of philosophy known as the theory of knowledge. If you're ready, let's dive into this important concept together. Defining knowledge. Knowledge is commonly defined as justified, true belief. This definition includes three key components: belief, truth, and justification. For something to be considered knowledge, you must believe it must be true, and your belief must be justified. However, even this definition is subject to philosophical debate. In Plato's Theaetetus, knowledge is defined as justified true belief. However, this definition has been challenged by what are known as Gettier problems, which are thought experiments that question whether justified true belief is sufficient for knowledge. Gettier argued that having a belief that is both true and justified does not necessarily mean that it qualifies as knowledge. Therefore, the definition of knowledge remains one of the most fundamental and controversial issues in epistemology. The fundamental questions of epistemology. Epistemology investigates the nature, sources, limits, and justification of knowledge. Here are some of the key questions in epistemology. What is knowledge? How do we acquire knowledge? How can we know that we have knowledge? What are the limits of knowledge? These questions are central to philosophical thought and have been answered in various ways by philosophers throughout history. Rationalism and empiricism. Regarding how we acquire knowledge, there are two main schools of thought in philosophy: rationalism and empiricism. Rationalism argues that the source of knowledge is reason. Rationalists, like Descartes, believe that the mind has access to innate knowledge and that sensory experiences are used to confirm this knowledge. On the other hand, empiricism asserts that the source of knowledge is sensory experience. Empiricists like John Locke and David Hume argue that the human mind is a blank slate, tabula rasa, at birth, and all knowledge is gained through the senses. The debate between these two approaches is a key topic in epistemology and has shaped discussions about the nature of knowledge. The difference between knowledge and belief. The distinction between knowledge and belief is one of the critical points in epistemology. Belief is a personal conviction or acceptance that something is true, while knowledge is a more solid state that arises when this belief is justified. Simply believing something is true does not mean that it qualifies as knowledge. For example, someone might believe that it will rain tomorrow, but this belief only becomes knowledge if the weather forecast is accurate and the reasons for the belief are sound. Therefore, in epistemology, knowledge requires a higher standard than belief. Modern epistemological debates. Modern epistemology has expanded the debates about the nature and limits of knowledge. Gettier's famous examples have shown that knowledge cannot be simply defined as justified true belief. This has led epistemologists to rethink the definition of knowledge and debate how to refine it. Additionally, social epistemology has emerged as a field that examines the social dimensions of knowledge. This approach looks at how knowledge is shared, how power and authority influence the dissemination of knowledge, and the inequalities in access to knowledge. The question of what knowledge is remains one of the most fundamental and complex questions in philosophy. Epistemology offers various approaches to answer this question. In this video, we explored the definition of knowledge, the fundamental questions of epistemology, and the debate between rationalism and empiricism. Understanding what it means to possess knowledge is not just a philosophical issue, but also an important matter in our daily lives. If you find deep philosophical discussions like this intriguing, please consider subscribing to my channel and liking this video. Also, feel free to share your thoughts on knowledge and epistemology in the comments. See you in the next video.